ACC from 6 to 7:30 or so,
Oh, that may be, well, it won't be dark by then.
because we have to go into executive session too.
Okay.
And their agenda is huge.
And with
Good.
any luck, you won't lose internet, right?
Oh, I hope not. Oh, well, maybe not.
There we go.
Well, I will make my last minute text to Jason like I did last week.
I have 2 screens of everybody.
One is Tiffany's.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
I was just checking the YouTube link.
We will start right at 5 though.
Okay.
Jason's on, I saw him.
Is he? Okay.
There he
I
is.
didn't see him pop up. Good. You there, Jason?
I'm here.
All right.
I'm ready, Bob.
It's going to happen, Linda.
I know, I'm ready for it.
I need a haircut. Ooh.
Not until the 12th, I think.
I know.
Mike, will you call roll?
I will. Bob Smith,
Here.
Andy Croft,
Here.
Linda Meiniger,
Here.
Jason Schaffner,
Here.
Ballot.
Here.
Everybody is present.
And this is a special meeting of the Sidney City School Board for the purpose of the items that are on our agenda. So with that, Mike, first items on your treasurer's report.
Okay, let me turn my volume down here. Okay, sorry about that. The first item on our agenda is a resolution to proceed with emergency levy. And I'd like to request a motion to adopt the attached resolution determining to proceed with the submission of a renewal tax levy to the electors of the Sidney City School District at the August 4th, 2020 election in order to avoid an operating deficit estimated by the county auditor to be 7.3 mils for a period of 10 years.
Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Linda,
I'll second.
Michelle? Any discussion?
And this is the second, as we've done in the past, the second of 2 required resolutions to place the issue on the ballot. And as we discussed before, this is obviously an unusual situation, passing us before we know the outcome of the current ballot issue. If we're fortunate enough to have it pass in either the May or the June, we can then have the board pass a resolution to withdraw it from the August ballot.
Any other discussion? Mike, would you please call roll?
Meiniger,
Yes.
Lott,
Yes.
Croft,
Yes.
Schaffner.
Yep.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mandy, was yours, were you able to click your?
Oh, go ahead and mark me yes. I totally forgot that part. I've been sitting here staring at the screen.
Item number 2, this is in somewhat a housekeeping item, so I'll explain more once we go through. So it has to do with paying spring supplementals. So I'd like to request a motion to pay spring supplemental contracts at 100% of contracted amount for the 2019-2020 school year.
Do I have a motion?
I'll motion.
Linda,
I'll second.
Michelle?
And I say this is somewhat of a housekeeping item. Basically, across the state is kind of all over the board on how school districts are approaching the payment of spring supplementals. And the tricky thing with part of this is not only are we talking about necessarily just those things that happen in spring, but some of our academic supplementals pay out a little bit throughout the entire year. And with the timing of the stay at home and all that, some of the spring supplemental had started already. And so Bob and I had some discussions on this even earlier on. And we believed it was in really the best interest all the way around to just go ahead and pay the spring supplementals at 100% of the contracted amount instead of trying to make some determination on who only worked a partial year or a partial part of the program. Part of my rationale was, in every other year, coaches don't get paid nearly for as much time as they put in.
Right.
So if we happen in this year, because of all the current situations, happen to pay them more than for the time they put in, so be it. I think it's an overall kind of a good gesture on our part to recognize what they do and have done, that we just go ahead and honor the contracts that we put out there at 100%.
I agree. Me too.
I know a lot of them have maintained contact through all of this and checking in with them to try and prepare them with whatever. So
But the one thing we have learned from this, and that you will see on the May agenda, is that for fall, initially here, we are only going to be hiring head coaches for the fall sports until we have better guidance as to what that looks like.
all right.
Okay.
Any other conversation? Mike, would you call roll, please?
Meininger,
Yes.
Lot,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yep.
Croft,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries. And that is it for me.
And the last item we have on our agenda is under superintendent's reports.
So again, this is kind of all over the board across the state as well, but most of the districts that I have talked to, what I would like to do is to end new assignments on the 14th of May and use that following week, which would have been our last week, to pick up any missed work and have teachers contact any kids that are still missing assignments or anything, especially for like seniors that would still need to get stuff. Those would still be student work days, but they would be.
Bob, can I have a motion?
No, we're not. I'm not asking for a motion.
Oh, no motion? Okay, go ahead then.
No, this is a discussion item only.
Okay.
So I was right this time.
Yes, you were.
So I'm just letting you know what we're doing on those days.
Okay.
I wanted to keep you informed as to what the plan was. And there will be some professional development also through that week as well. I've got Brooke on here specifically for this. Brooke, did you want to highlight anything that I've missed?
No, I mean, I can answer any questions there might be about the professional development if the board has any.
Will they be having PD in the new math, for the new math series?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Math Learning Center, which is the vendor for the new curriculum, we previously scheduled for May 15th and the 22nd to be in-person PD days. May 15th was originally scheduled for a PD day, no student day, but staff would be there. 22nd was scheduled to be a work day. So Math Learning Center, though, is not going to send any people to locations, but rather they're going to, they've revamped it to have some virtual sessions. So we have that planned out, and that has also been communicated to the teachers.
Okay.
Any other questions on that?
I mean, as long as we're not moving our last week up one, because I know not a lot happens during the last week of school anyway, a lot of times. So we're probably not losing a whole lot.
Exactly.
But one thing that I think I would like to see if there's somehow we can work this into that time for the teachers is if there is some way of sharing knowledge or what worked or what didn't work, because we don't know what the fall looks like. And we may have some carryover in some flavor of this. And so the more of that that we can capture and collaborate on, maybe the better.
So I know that, and Brooke, you could jump in on this as well, but we've already been doing that, Bob. The grade level and subject matter groups have been meeting weekly. So like all fourth grade teachers have been meeting, all fifth grade teachers have been meeting. All of this has already been constantly going on. This isn't, it's been a constant flow of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So that will continue as well.
One follow-up question I have, we're still doing the meals, is that correct?
Correct. And we will do it through that week, through that last week.
Would that, by the last week, do you mean we would still do it for the same amount of time we were planning on doing it, or are we shortening that by a week?
No, we're not shortening that, because the city knows when our last day is, and they pick it up after that. And so we're not changing that with them at all.
Okay.
They still do it through the park district? Is that
Correct.
how the city's doing it?
Yes,
Okay.
Linda. And they've confirmed those dates with me, and so they know exactly when we're done and when they start.
Okay.
That's all I had.
And it's a discussion item, so there's no vote, right?
Correct.
Right.
And hence the reason why I didn't wait for a motion.
That was the reason.
This time.
Yep. So if there are no more questions, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Mandy,
I'll second.
Linda, any discussion?
No.
Mike, would you please call roll?
Croft,
Yes.
Leininger,
Yes.
Schaffner,
Yep.
Lot,
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Great job, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Take care.
Take care. Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.